Hey guys, so I'm back with part three of my mom's been in prison 27 years, and a lot of people was like, "Well, what is she in there for?" And so her charges is manslaughter and robbery. She was not by herself when this crime occurred. In fact, the person life that was taken, she was actually staying with that person. She was renting out a room. Um, and before that incident occurred, her and the individual had a dispute with each other. And so my mother's street, and from what she told me, she was held down at gunpoint. And the individual that did it, she was like in her dementia stages. So my mom thinking, not really knowing that this woman has dementia, she, oh, I'm gonna get her. And that could have been the worst decision she ever thought she could, think of. But she was saying, I'm gonna get her, not hurt her, but like get her. And so, long story short, when my mother and the man, it was a man, went into the home, it was only to like try to keep like knock the woman down so they can ramshack and get whatever they could get, money, whatever they was doing. And my mom said when she seen the woman, the lady was still alive. And what ended up happening was the guy that was with her, he turned states on her. So he didn't get any time. And my mom is from the street. So she said she had in her mind, like, snitches get stitches. I ain't going to say nothing. But she was like, if I could go back, I would have told him first. Because if I would have knew that he was going to cause me to lose my kids, my livelihood, my family, my freedom, she said it wasn't worth that. And so this man, we would see him freely. And about a few years ago, one of my relatives actually seen this man out living his free life, and it took everything in my relative's power not to do anything because it's just like, dang. So, anyway, that's why she's in there, and that's part of it. So, I'm gonna tell you guys like why she was living with the individual. So, my mom had got in some trouble. Um, I was in high school, and my mother used to work for the congresswoman of our hometown. She ended up losing her job because she had a problem with alcohol. She had an alcohol problem, and she went to work with some beer on her breath, and one of the managers smelled it, and it was an automatic termination. They fired her. So when that happened, my mother was trying to figure, okay, I gotta make ends meet. Now my mother is street, but she was like she didn't want to go back to the street mentality because she had been used to working for the congresswoman. And so she started looking for work. She was working for a place called Labor Ready. So that was like temporary work by the day. So you have to show up like at a certain time, and after they get so many people, there's no more work. And it was like getting us barely, and it ended up getting so bad where our lights got cut off. So when our lights got turned off, it was like, okay, I got to do something else. So her best friend didn't live too far from where we lived at. So she agreed to let us come over until my mother got back on her feet to get the lights on. And my mother used to take me back and forth to school. And so we was able to get, a few outfits to go to my mom's friend house. And I want to say this, Miss V, me and my mother's best friend, we shared the same birthday. So we were close. And Miss V had 4 kids. She had 4 biological, and she had an adopted son, and everybody was still living at home. And she treated me just like I was one of her own. She had a daughter my age, a daughter under me, and a daughter that was above me, and I was cool with all of them. But Miss V was actually sick during the time that she allowed us to come stay with her for a temporary, time. So one morning, my mom takes me to school, and I was in ROTC because I thought I was gonna be in the military. I was like, I'm going to the military, and so I wasn't. On this day, I didn't have my uniform, and my sergeant was so mad at me. He was like, no, I think he's a lieutenant. He's like, Latoya, where's your uniform? And I'm like, I only want to tell him like, hey, we ain't got no lights. I ain't been able to go back to the house. And I started kind of like getting smart with him, like, I ain't got to wear no uniform. And he was like, girl, you're not about to talk to me like that. You can take yourself to the dean office. And I'm like, the dean office? He like, yeah. He's like, I don't know what got in you today, but you ain't about to talk to me. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I go to the dean office, and the dean was like, Latoya, you know you don't got no business. I don't even want to see you it's the end of the school day. Go sit in the office and wait for the bell to ring. Go home. Come back and get better tomorrow. And I'm just like, okay, so while I'm sitting there, a police officer walks in and was like, I'm looking for Latoya Abram. Now that was not my last name at the time, but I'm just feeling I'm looking for Latoya. And I'm looking like, and he was like, is there a Latoya in here? And some people knew me looking like, I'm like, I was like, what did I do? I'm like, I just got swerved with him this one time. It ain't that serious. We're here to call the police. And so he goes to the dean and he was like, is there a Latoya Abram here? And he was like, yeah, she's in the office. I just sent her out. He's like, is everything okay? He was like, yeah. He's like, I need to talk to her. All right, so that's going to be part 4. I will tell y'all on the next video.